Just one final note. Also, this is just an obvious observation, but I have to point out the obvious. So where you have the state's fake sun object, which again is traveling, as I move to this part of the parking lot, this fake sunlight object literally migrated over to stay over my head, and that's what it does as I travel anywhere. But nevertheless, what you have is it directly over, right? It's directly over a construction building. So you have a covered walkway where the light object is directing down over a construction. What you will not have is what I'm showing, which is light that is bending underneath where light is aiming straight downward. That's where light comes from, where you have a sun, whether you want to allege that's the real sun or not the actual sun. You have it nonetheless pointing downward onto a construction, which is going to result in shaded area underneath this walkway. This is why buildings are constructed this way. What you have is light that is aimed into the top of my window. And it creates constant light inside. That's called ILA. What you also have is light that is on the floorway, the ground of this walkway, which requires light to be aimed at an angle in order to touch that surface. This is P.O.C. while they are engaged in creating constant activity. And I have captured third parties that are just in the immediate zone in close quarters. The zone of relevant positioning, especially when you are using communication devices, exceeds outside of this parking lot. You're talking about the nearby venues in all locations. The state is flying over in airplanes and helicopters. The state is remaining in relevant position, amplifying the sound of sirens while the state remains present, creating activity, mirroring my movement and activity on not only physically but also on my communication devices. That's the criminal engagement and activity creation for the unlawful purpose of monitoring with communication devices. That is the same character of conduct with every method of activity creation. And so what you have on both sides of the rooms, you have the amplified sound of noise that is being directed into the room so loud that it sounds as though they are inside of my room. It is in a natural maximizing of sound, and that is for the purpose of monitoring. This is the same conduct documented at Mayfair Inn. This is the same conduct documented while at Woodside Senior Apartments, apartment number 55. That third party above, that amplified activity coming from above, that which was occurring 24 hours a day, also mirroring my every movement, any operation of a communication device, including the television, which was internet operated, which the state also engaged in controlling outside when I'm not outside of my use, when I'm not touching the remote, when I'm not using it or touching it at all, using the television as a means of activity creation. This is the same criminal conduct, the same tactics, the same methods, if you will, that are in operation here at Economy Inn. And what prefaces is the state stalking, which is already proven, the state stalking by police, fire, ambulance, and by its light enhanced tactics, leaving concentrated light directly over the venue, central to monitoring. Understand that traffic in every form, this is a means of operating a system of monitoring with communication devices where they're in constant relevant positioning. This is P.O.C. at Economy Inn, and this is what I am documenting on Twitter in written form as P.O.C. is continuous at this venue, which is facilitated at this venue, engaged in by the employees at this venue, providing form to third-party patrons and third parties that aren't even patrons. They literally just come onto the property to act criminally with the state, which is the definition of group stalking, where third parties are present, intentionally engaged in the criminal elements for the purpose of monitoring. They are present on behalf of that entity that is stalking and monitoring that targeted individual. This is P.O.C. and it is 2:31 p.m. and again you have this sun that's directly over the parking lot, where you also have the moon that's in the same position over the parking lot. Only third parties and criminal actors of the state would ever posit with a serious face that that is actually the sun. It is P.O.C.